Sai says.
Good evening, sounds of My Soul, My House Radio. Thursday evening, just gone past the hours of 9 p.m. Many thanks to Calvin for the last couple. Don't forget, he'll be back here, same time, same place, live to you on My Soul. And once again, welcome on board to all the new My House Radio listeners. Hope you're all enjoying the ride. And, you know, I'm one of them lucky ones that my show goes out on My Soul and My House Radio. So good you got to hear it twice, eh? What can you say? I can't blame it, mate. Kicked off the show tonight with something brand new on the legendary, the infamous, the unmistakable, the unforgettable Nervous records from NYC, and that was a track from a guest that I had on my show quite some weeks ago now, a young talent from London that's one of my favourite producers out there at the moment, goes by the name of Ben Hawk, and this is his outing now on Nervous Records. He's released on some of these like cool underground vinyl only London labels and his own label as well, and but now he's stepping up to the Nervous sound. And that first one we had there was a track called Day We Rep, and one we're going to hear now, I was excited about this because he gave us a little clip after the show, and this is basically him teaming up with the amazing vocals of Nathan Adams. Once again, don't forget where you're hearing it tonight. My Soul, My House Radio, me, Sai Says in session. Also got a special guest on the show tonight. I'm going to let you know more about that in a little while, so keep it where you got it. Here comes that feeling. The sun is finally coming. That's right, once again, My Soul Radio, also My House Radio, me, Sai Says in session. I'm going to be taking you up till 11 p.m. tonight, and I've got a special guest who I've invited up on the show tonight. I'm going to introduce you to him up after this one. So for the first part of the show, just been moving through something forthcoming on the infamous Nervous Records imprint, and this by a young artist that I'm a big fan of from London, goes by the name of Ben Hawk, hailing from the southeast London area. There seems to be a hotbed of talent around like Peckham, Deptford, them sort of areas at the moment. And yeah, it's great to see Ben. He was a guest on my show a little while ago, like I was saying before, and it's great to see him stepping up onto this famous New York imprint, Nervous. So the first one up we had was The Way They Rep. It's a little sample number, and that one there we just had was Oh My God, featuring the vocals of Nathan Adams. That's definitely going to be one for the summer bubblers, that one, man. I can see that getting a lot of airtime. Big up to Jeremy Neal inside. He's doing the two finger skank dance. Yeah, and also to Sunshine Music for Sunshine People in the house tonight as well, capturing everything. They've been following me and been part of the radio show for the last quite a few months now. He's going to come and finally say hello for a little while this evening, and yeah, tonight is good because we're getting different footage, because our guest is coming with some, how can I say without giving it away, some nice tangible assets that we can actually really get some good content of and film and not just talk about but actually capture as well. So yeah, don't forget, once again, where you're hearing it, it's My Soul Radio, My House Radio, and me, Sai Says. Right, the last one before the ad breaks, again on Nervous, again from Ben Hawk. This is part of the same EP. Watch out for this. This is coming your way. This is called Getting Twisted, and it's just this is the vibe, man. This is what house music's all about.
Weekdays, the specialist sound of My Soul.
That's right. My Soul Radio. Once again, good evening. Welcome along to everybody locked in, locked on. And tonight, this is the season. This is the year when I'm bringing some real special guests to you and exciting stuff. And yeah, this week I would like to welcome Graham, AKA Left for Dust. Good evening, sir.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, very well, thanks. We're going to give a little bit more of an introductory into yourself. We're going to let this one play first, but you're like an avid vinyl collector, right?
Well, gosh, 35 years on and off. Just started off as a kid, a bit of pocket money, buying cassettes, vinyl, and just it was just one of those things you did when you were a kid. You go to Woolworths, you go to our price, you go to HMV. And
the good old days, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Spent a lot of money on our price, mate.
Yeah, no, I still like the old stickers when you get them on the front as well.
That's it, the price sticker. Yeah. Right, we're going to kick off with this one from your collection. Let us know what the first one is before we get into more talk.
Yeah, this is a track. It's called Deeper. It's by M&S, which is Ricky Morrison and Francis Dolly. Yeah. This was a big track which Paul always used to play. Just got a great intro, great vocals, just a real deep, hard, nice track from back in the day, about 94, 95 sort of time, Strictly Rhythm. But yeah, good times.
Mi-Soul Radio, My House Radio, giving you a history lesson right about now with my special guest Graham, aka Left for Dust. That's your name on Instagram. That's how we first came about as well. And this is really the power of power of the music first and foremost, but power of people like Paul Trouble Anderson, that me and you've made this connection now since Paul passed. I've never met you in any of the years before. It was since Paul passed, some of the forums on Instagram and Facebook, and you got a real popular Instagram. For me, you are like a tastemaker. You get all these influencers and tastemaker labels thrown out there, but what you do for like the house scene, documenting all the labels and stuff like that, especially for the younger generation, it's a great thing, so I commend you for that. If you could just let us know some of the tracks we've heard, Graham, so far.
The first one was, I think I mentioned earlier, by M&S, Ricky Morrison and Francis Dolly, a track called Deeper on Strictly Rhythm. Paul always used to play that, and it was a big track with all those London guys, Bobby, Steve, obviously Ricky and those crew. But do
you remember where you bought it at all?
More than likely it was probably from Jeremy at Release the Groove. I was chatting to him earlier actually when he was in, and just probably half my box in here is probably that you've sold me, mate. So more than likely Release the Groove or Black Market, one of those.
Sure. And then we went into something, you moved up a bit. Was it around 98? That was a jazz and groove one, right?
Yeah, it was Monet. It was a jazz and groove track. I can't remember the vocalist on it, but no, great track again. Just one of those tracks, lovely build up, simple vocals, but powerful.
That was a big Garage City anthem, man. I remember hearing that
on Baseline Records, which I think Victor Simonelli had something to do with. Big label.
Amazing, yeah.
And then this final track here is actually Bobby and Steve's remix of, I can't remember the name of Breakpoint. That's it. And the guy, I can't remember his name, but the fella from Pasadena's John Banford or Banpire, sorry, I can't see the label. But yeah, no, really big track. And again, Garage City, CJ McIntosh always used to play it at Ministry. Obviously Paul used to play it pretty much every weekend, every Wednesday at the Loft. So yeah, real powerful song.
Alright, so I mean you're kind of from that generation that was going to the Loft, going to HQs, where Paul was almost like the educator right there, wasn't he? You'd hear tracks then and then go into the shops and try and get them, right?
Yeah, exactly right. It was one of those things where, you'd be maybe in a track in the shop on a Monday or Tuesday, you'd buy a record, think, it's quite a tasty record, and then you'd go to the Loft on Wednesday and Trouble would drop it, you think, wow, sounds 10 times better. Or alternatively, he'd play a track on the Wednesday night, you'd go in the shop on the Thursday, the Friday, and
singing it.
Yeah, and people would be going, what's that track that he played? Oh yeah, and then all the guys in the shops would be pulling them out, and everyone would be going, what's that track Trouble played? What was it? And that was just how it was. There was no social media back then. That was how you learned. From speaking to the guys in the shops, from learning in the bars, the clubs, and just listening to these, your sort of idols, if you like, for want of a better word.
Definitely, and that's a great thing that I really want to try and get across tonight as well, is like the difference in eras it was to try and track down music. It was so much harder. I mean, now you got Shazam. Even before Shazam, like there's social media, there's all sorts of stuff. All you got to do is really just type a lyric into the internet now, and you'll find the record straight away, right? Yeah. So we're going to hear more from you up after the ad breaks. We're going to say some hellos and some shout outs as well. Don't forget, keep it where you got it right about now. It's me, Sai Says, joined by Graham, aka Left for Dust, live on Mi-Soul, My House Radio. Mi-Soul Radio, My House Radio, keeping it going now. Me, Sai Says, joined by Left for Dust. One of my favourite pages on Instagram to follow. Get out there, check him out. Literally Left with a number 4 and then Dust. And he's all about this. He's one of them guys that just puts up video clips of, you basically put up the vinyl spinning, don't you, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of gems. And this is a gem, so let's not try and talk too much. Let us know what this is and the era, if you know.
This is it's those guys basically, AKA Basement Boys, DJ Spen, Teddy Douglas. It's just a great track from '91. Just real, chugger. Again, this was a big ruling at Ministry on a Saturday night track in that back bass room, the box, the turbo room, whatever it is they call it. But just a real deep track. Goes on for about 15 minutes. There's plenty of opportunity to sort of do stuff with the record. But I think it's my first ever Basement Boys record I bought. Can't remember where I bought it from, but again, it's titled by those guys, and then they did obviously loads over the years.
But this would have cost you quite a bit probably back in the day, wouldn't it?
It's quite a collector's piece. A lot of people have got it. I don't think it's that expensive. It's just a great record. It just, like I said, it just goes on and on and on, and it's just real, it's really well produced. Just one of my favourites. I thought I'd give it a go.
Nice one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. Hope you enjoy it.
Mi-Soul Radio, My House Radio, Mi-Soul says in the house with Graham, AKA Left for Dust, and that one was Basement Boys MC record. I love the way that slows down there, man. So, like the French Kiss record. Also in the house, Sunshine Music for Sunshine People, joining the fun. Good evening to you, sir.
What's up?
Good. What's going on in your world?
Sunshine Music for Sunshine People, as per usual.
Yeah, you got a busy summer schedule ahead, a lot of filming.
Yeah, little bits and bobs picking up. I'll be at Deep Into Soul on Sunday. So
brilliant, dope.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What's happening there?
It's, I believe, a day party over in northwest London.
At the Loft Studio.
Yeah, Spen's on the bill. Opolopo, Javon,
that's
Damien
exciting,
Charles.
man. Javon, you don't see Javon enough.
Very rare.
Umpires, incredible DJ, dope producer as well, man.
I was saying the same to Neil when Neil called me the other day, and it should be a good look. Hopefully the weather holds out. It's an in and out party as well, outdoors, indoors. So
in out, shake it all about. Brilliant. So if you're out there, if you see Roach, Cal, that's what I call him as well. Sunshine Music for Sunshine People. Go up, man. Make yourself known.
Can I make a request? If you do see me at Deep Into Soul, I just need you to say one thing into my lens, which is Sunshine Music for Sunshine People, please. Thank you very much.
And this is thank you. Yeah. All right, I won't do the impression on there, but we're allowed to do the impression, but we won't go into that. Right. So and also, what else you got? Any festival action?
Bits and bobs. I'm just trying to iron out a few things. Like I don't like to blow the trumpet too loud, and
And you've been following the show quite a lot. You've been integral of this. We've got so much great footage to bring to people. So go and follow him on Facebook, on YouTube as well.
Yes, please.
$19.91 on this one, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what it is. We're in a new studio, so we got quite loud speakers in here. That's just dirt, man. Gritty drums. There's people say the argument analog versus digital. To me, there isn't an argument, because when you stand in a room here where he'll tell you we normally playing digital music on my show. Yeah. To hear the tracks here, this is from 1991. It sounds grittier,
best part of 30
dirtier,
years old.
everything, more substance than the digital sound. So
it's just one
that
of those.
Is about 91. I just clocked it.
91. Yeah. Again, it's just one of those tracks you can just play.
You didn't buy this in Woolworths, did you?
I really can't remember where I got this from. Possibly Flying Records in Kensington High Street.
Wow, okay.
Not quite sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's my first Basement Boys track. Well, actually, funnily enough, Crystal Waters' Gypsy Woman, that was my first Basement Boys track. But,
do you want to send any shouts out to anyone listening, or friends, family? I know you're a family man.
Yeah, well, obviously got my missus, my two kids, everyone at work. Hello, everyone. I know you've all been taking the mick out of me today, so evening, hope you're enjoying the show. And just anyone that follows me, thanks, and my records are doing a bit of justice tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. Also, what I admire about you is you put a lot of videos on with some of the equipment that you've got at home, if you don't mind me saying, which is like the rotary and the valve mixer that you've got and stuff.
Yeah, that was just one of those things where as you get older and you just sort of appreciate sound and noise and percussion and just how records play and just the pure warmth of a record. I kind of got not fed up, but just kind of thought, well, I'll try and get one of these sort of rope remixes, which everyone seems to be using in New York, and when you got Danny Krivit coming over and Ron Trent and all those big boys coming over, they always get the big setup. So they just sound completely different. And I remember when I first bought the Yuri, you put it in, and you can notice a difference as soon as you put that first record on. Just the warmth, the bass, you can just hear it more, and they
they get better. They sound better as they warm up as well.
You keep them on, you never turn them off. I've had it on now in the spare room for about 4 years, never turned it off. Before that, obviously, I've had it for about 15 years, and just leave it on, just purring away.
It's keeping it warm, just ready. And anytime you want to put a record on, and you got an isolator in there as well.
Yeah, little vest stacks, and again, it just takes out the bass, the mids, and the highs. It's just a little one-channel isolator, but it just helps tweak the record.
I think when you're this connoisseur, guy like you, and you've obviously got your Technics there, you've got your vinyl, you've got to have a rotary in you, man. The Yuri just completes it off, doesn't it?
It's one of life's little pleasures,
Definitely. And another really endearing video of yours that because I follow you on Instagram, is your son. Sometimes he has a go on the isolator. I don't know what his name is, but big shout to him.
Yeah. Now again, I think it's important. When I was a kid, it was Top of the Pops, and just your dad, and like I said, it was watching Top of the Pops on a Thursday night was where you got your sort of your musical knowledge. So, I've banned MTV from our house. I just think modern day music doesn't do anything for me. So it's just nice when I'm seeing my boy and I'm putting a Prince record on,
definitely, man.
Whether it be an old Depeche Mode or an old bit of whatever it may be. It's just nice when he's jumping around with his mates,
definitely,
and he's mucking around and just listening. I just tell him to listen, just listen to the music, just listen to it. Simple as that.
See, that's beautiful, man. Great parent tips and parent goals for me as well to have that, because like you say, sometimes not about slating any other channels, but what they offer to the children these days, it's not someone like Prince or someone like it's not thinking people's music, really, is it?
Exactly. I just think that back in the day, all that stuff, it still stands the test of time. It's proper music. I think nowadays it just seems to be a little bit formulaic.
And he has a little go on the isolator as well, doesn't he? Cuts the bass out and he shapes it.
That's just listening to music and just listening to the sounds. Here's the percussion, take it out. Here's the mids, take it out. Take the bass, drop it out, drop it in.
It's amazing.
It's all good fun.
Wicked. So we're moving in, keeping it going now. We've got is this a white label? Would it be called?
This is a track. Again, another Basement Boys track. I can't remember the year of this because it's a white label. But again, it was a massive loft track, big London track. I think it was around 95, 96.
Okay.
Again, Crystal Waters. Again, as we well know, Gypsy Woman. Making happy. But this is quite a nice little, not a rare track, but it was a big track at the time, and it's just a little forgotten gem which I thought I'd pull out. So it's called Who Taught You How by Crystal Waters, produced by Basement Boys.
Right, keeping it on with this theme now, joined by my guest Graham this evening. And obviously, you're kind of like a pupil of the School of Trouble as well, weren't you? Yeah. So just tell people a little bit about HQs and the Loft and how it was. I was kind of a little bit before that era, so I didn't quite make it up there on a Wednesday and stuff like that. But obviously it's stuff of legend, so tell us your little insight into it.
Well, me personally, I followed his show on Kiss FM for a while, sort of discovered that, funny enough, and moving to London. I'm not originally from London, moved to London about 94, 95, obviously talking about his HQ night on his radio show, so you've got to find this place, easy to, going up there, and it was just one of these places where you go, I remember, God, I must have been, 20, 25 times, but I remember once or twice even going on my own, because if your mates can't turn up or your missus is doing something, alright, I've got to go up the loft, so you'd always see the same faces, you see the guys you've seen in the shops, you just, the producers, and it was just one of those places where you could go on your own, have a few beers, chat, and those are, people smoking, and it was just easy, it was just chatting around, that's what it was, just listening to good music, and Paul opposite the helm,
definitely.
It's good.
Sounds of My Soul, My House Radio, me, Si Says in the house, and my special guest in session, Graham, aka @Left4Dust on Instagram.
Evening.
Great name, like the name, man. Avid vinyl collector, and just really giving us a treat tonight with some great music, with really bringing back a lot of great memories and on some great imprints as well. Let us know the couple that you just played there a minute ago.
The first, going back to the first one I played a little 2 or 3 tracks ago, Lynette Smith, Only You, on UK test pressing on Slip and Slide. A great little UK label, this, actually.
Definitely,
I think they're still going in, some guys. I know Phil Asher had something to do with it back in the early days. But yeah, they put out a lot of good stuff. Just a great little UK label. And again, that sort of Perfect era, and again the track track, Lynette Smith, Only You, massive Paul Treble Anderson song. Just one of those party ones, great to mix in.
Definitely,
vocals come in, piano.
I was going to say the intro's killer,
crashing percussion, all the sort of things you'd expect from a great vocal gospel garage track.
Sure.
And after that I went into another Basement Boys one. Seems to be having a bit of a Basement Boys night tonight. But yeah, no, a track that everyone knows. Again, I've got about 3 or 4 copies of this because we've got some great dubs on this as well. So that was just the main mix of Mary J. Blige, Beautiful. It's actually a little white and purple label, but yes, most people have got this. But again, another massive big track from around 95, 96.
Okay.
But yeah, Mary J. Blige and DJ Spen, can't go wrong.
Well, it really was the golden era, man, for this sound for me.
Yeah.
So we're going to...
and this track just fading out. Sorry, Simon.
That's right. Right,
yeah, that's just a great track from '94. It's actually a big Detroit-Chicago track. Nice little Shade Demir, Ron Trent mix on the flip side. But this is the original Maurizio mix by Round... It's called I'm Your Brother by Round One. Again, one of those crossover tracks.
Sure.
The Garage House boys were playing it, but also obviously the Chicago boys were playing it. But just a great vocal, really tight production.
Timeless as well. It still sounds... for me, that sounds fresh now. That can be played now easily.
Yeah.
So we're going to take an ad break, then we're going to come back up with one of the famous voices of house music, Miss Kathy Brown.
Yeah.
So make sure you keep it where you got it. It's My Soul, My House Radio.
My Soul.
Right, back into it now. Let us know this one because it's a big tune from back in the day. Do you remember when you first heard this?
Yeah, definitely Ministry in that back room. Highly certain it was CJ McIntosh who was the resident there for years. Just one of those great tracks when it mixes in. Dave Camacho on the mix on Cutting Records.
Yeah, big label.
Which great label. I think it's originally a hip hop label, but obviously Masters at Work did a lot of stuff on there, progressed into the house side of things. Just one of those great tracks. Just well produced, but again, just a real chugger. Great sample, looping vocals, and then some powerful vocals to finish it off with. Kathy Brown, real strong record.
That's right, once again, the sounds of My Soul Radio, My House Radio, my special guest Left for Dust Graham in the mix, going through some of these timeless classics. And that last one there, Nicole Running Away, Smooth, right?
Yeah, E Smooth. Again, just a long build up. One of those just great party tracks which everyone was playing back in the day.
It's hard to believe that's 25 years old.
Yeah, I know, unbelievable. But and again, you play that anywhere now, people would be, really sort of giving it something like they were 25 years ago.
100%, definitely.
Great.
We're going to move into this one now. Quite appropriate, sadly, the passing of Kim English recently.
Yeah. Again, it was a great record anyway. It doesn't really need much of an introduction. All my mates liked it, everyone loved it, everyone was playing it. It originally came out on Nervous. This is the UK version on High Life. It just missed out this slightly longer intro to the Nervous Records production. I've actually got the original Nervous as well, which is a little bit crunchier. The production's not great on it. This has got a much tighter production on it. But again, it's moved to swing. Obviously, Lem Springsteen and John Ciafone. So Kim English on vocal. Sadly she passed away the other week, but obviously she did some great tracks. We know. I just thought you've got to bring it. Just a great opportunity to play a great record.
Come on. Once again, thanks to Graham for supplying the music tonight, mate. It's really been like a nice little bit of a history lesson, and also as well because it's nice to get across to the people. I haven't known you for all this time. Like I met you through Instagram, through the Paul Trouble Anderson forum, and you were one of these guys that were posting rare collector's items and stuff from the Loft and HQs, and you just literally post a record spinning up, one of those ones. And people like yourself, you're very popular on Instagram, right? You get a lot of followers, a lot of people that interact with you, whether it's through the hashtag following or the trending thing or whatever it is. But it's just great to connect with you. And again, the power of people like the spirit of people like Paul, that even he's not here with us in the physical anymore, like spiritually he's still connecting people together, making the music play more than ever. So definitely, man, I'll shake your hand on air.
Yeah, nice one.
Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're gonna put a track listing up as well. Remember, if you've joined us halfway through or you want to listen again, we'll be live on, well, not live, but we'll be up on Mixcloud tomorrow morning, so you can listen back to the full show.
Oh,
moving into this one now. We'll talk after this, okay? Absolute belter, this one. So there we had it, another show wrapped up, another week, and another guest as well. This week it was Graham, my newfound friend through music, through Paul Trouble Anderson, has brought us together. And yeah, we can follow you online at Instagram at Left for Dust.
Yeah,
that's you open to new followers, obviously.
Fine, go for it. Yeah, if you like the music and you were part of the mid '90s Paul Trouble Anderson London sort of party crowd, then I hope you've reminisced like I have of been pulling these records out for a few days now, and it's been great, to trip down memory lane. So,
and I appreciate your efforts, doing things like that, going back into the archives and coming down here and being part of the show. So I hope you've all enjoyed it at home, whoever you are, wherever you are, to the My Soul and the My House crew. And the last one that we left them with here, let us know what this one was.
That was Georgie Porgie, which is basically Terry Hunter from Chicago, and it's a track called You'll Never Know. Just a great little track, big loft record. Just great vocals. Yeah, I can't remember who sings it actually, but
big up Terry Hunter, man. Big up Terry Hunter each and every time. Don't forget, Mickey D up after me. Make sure you keep it where you got it. It's My Soul, My House Radio.
My Soul.